Okay, so I want to do like a really quick male grooming video. I'm actually with one of my best friends. He told me I should do my hair.
I'm the victim.
Yeah, and so I'm going to do a quick video on my long-time friend Christoph, and I'll show you how I look after men when I'm on shoots. Okay, so I bought this on AliExpress for like $4. Okay, don't laugh, Christoph. But what it does, it catches the hair. Let's see if it works. Look.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think it works, kind of.
I feel like a dog.
Yeah. So let's give this one a go. Right, so clippers, I'm going to take this off. We're going to shave you today. Just a quick tip with clippers, they have two guards on them. There's a front piece and a back piece. This front one has to always be lower than the back one. If you ever have that one over, you'll cut someone. It's really important to know that. But if you haven't used clippers before, it's probably not a great idea to do this on set. Don't always assume that men have a brand new razor when they come to a shoot. So I always make sure I buy a new one. And of course, they get to keep it. You can get disposable razors as well. Some are better than others. But this is a gift for you.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure. So I'm just taking some shaving cream on a brush. And cover your lips for me. So you've got to make the face quite wet. So I've made this brush quite wet with some cream. I'm going to really lather it up. I might even add some more water before we shave. I'll let that sit there for about a minute. And then Christoph, you're going to go and shave. I've just been freshly shaved. Good job, Christoph. So I'm just moisturised. It's a really nice, gentle moisturiser. This is an Avene one, so it's really calming. Just size up for me. And now some lip balm. I like to use men's lip balm, which basically is female lip balm with not as much shine. So any lip balm targeted for men is normally more matte. Sometimes that may be all you need to do, and then you might need to de-shine, but a lot of guys, I will use eye drops. You actually don't need eye drops, so I just want to show a technique that I use. This is a technique that I use on anyone that's terrified of eye drops. It's a really good trick. So what I need you to do is to put your head right back, Christoph, and so the camera's going to go straight. You have to put your head like that far back, but close your eyes completely. Have a tissue on standby. And what I'm actually doing is I'm just putting a little pool of liquid. Open your eyes and blink. And close. Isn't that a nice way to have eye drops? So you're not having someone's eye open and this thing dropping into the eye. What you're doing is you're having your eye closed and you're putting a little pool of liquid into that corner. Open your eyes and blink, and it will just run through.
So what's the eye drops for?
A lot of times, if a lot of men aren't used to camera or bright lights, the eyes can get just quite red more quickly than normal. I don't like to put eye drops in everyone, but yeah, sometimes it's just one of those things that when makeup or fingers are going near eyes that aren't used to it, they can just get a little bit sensitive. So, with men and foundation, I don't like to see makeup on men ever. Even if you want a lot of coverage or little coverage, if you need to put makeup, I think in the flesh, being this close, I don't want to see makeup. It's very distracting. So I'm just going to use some face and body. This is MAC C4. And with men, what I tend to do is go a shade darker, because I'm making it so sheer to be like a tint over the skin. Just cover your lips for me. And we're doing so many selfies and social media stuff, and sometimes you just want to even out the skin. It's just a nice way to do it where it's not detectable. I'm going to come down the neck. Obviously, know what the shirt's going to be like. If it's this kind of collar, this is great. If it's a white collar really high, I wouldn't be doing this part of the body yet. I'd wait till Christoph is dressed and I'll put some tissues around, and then I'd lightly buff in some colour there. Sometimes the neck can just look a little bit more red because it's just been shaved. So sometimes it's waiting 10-15 minutes, it can calm down. Also, a lot of face and body or tinted light foundations can look really shiny when they're first put on. Don't overcompensate it with powder. Just let the skin absorb it first, then use powder if you need to. Another trick I like to do is just to always darken ever so slightly in the temple area. Be careful of hair, but if you get makeup onto hair, the best way to remove it is just some micellar water and a cotton pad. Also, I'm going to take, this is C6 now, so it's a little bit darker. I'm just going to lightly darken under the jawline. Ignore the shine, it will absolutely settle down once the skin's absorbed it a little bit more. When it comes to concealing under the eye, I want this to look as natural as possible. So actually, less is more is the key here. So just look down, Christoph. I always like the eyes to be stretched. I'm just going to come into this inner corner. And eyes up for me. And just in this part of the eye, I'm not going to conceal right up. If I do, it's like I'm removing the eye. And it'll just make him look a little bit weird. A little bit eyeless. So I'm going to lighten just in here and look straight ahead. And I'm just coming in this outer corner, just there. I'm going to leave all the natural colour on the eyelids. Also, the colour I've chosen is so close to the foundation colour. It's only probably half a shade lighter. Because again, I want to look like it's really, really natural. I'm just going to lighten a little bit in here. And just a little bit in here. Having little beauty blenders are really good to use around this part of the eye, especially if someone's a little bit nervous or hasn't had their makeup done before. Get them to close their eyes. Christoph, just lift your eyebrows with your eyes closed. That's it. And you can get right in there. And relax a little bit more as well. Okay, and relax there for me. If there's any marks on the skin that you have to conceal, which you're pretty amazing, Christoph, their skin's really good. If I have to touch anything on the skin, I actually would use a concealer that matches the skin tone exactly. If I use something lighter, it's going to look quite obvious. I actually don't mind seeing, I love seeing scars or sometimes a mark on the skin's great. The reason too I've lightened these outer corners, we can get quite heavy in this part of the eye if we're tired. So lightening that area up just there just lightens the eye. Okay. So I'm going to take some contour colour. When I'm contouring a man's face, I do it slightly different to a female's face. And what I need to do is I want to keep the squareness and the angles in the face. So a really important thing on a man's face, if I'm shading, is this part here. That's really crucial. And that makes the face and the jawline look really strong. So step one, I'm just going to sharpen the jaw. So I'm going to make the jaw as square as I can. So I want to come down and underneath. So I'm not minimizing the jaw. Traditional contouring can be done on the jawline to soften it, but I want to strengthen it. So I'm coming completely underneath the jawline. I also want to keep the squareness here, but I also want to keep the face as long as possible. It's a beautiful masculine feature when we can keep the length. So what I'm doing here, instead of shading up here, I'm going to pull my brush back. This is the brush number 23. It's got like a sharp corner, as you can see. So I can do nice cutting, contouring. I'm going to come right down here. So I'm coming square, under, and then straight across. And this is part of the chin. I always like to shade back. Just keep that jawline nice and sharp. Really important though that you don't go too heavy. So I'll make sure that I check the face on all different angles so I can't actually see the makeup that's been applied. It's really important to test this and check this in natural light as well. I'm using the darkest colour, even though it's quite dark. What I like to do is use a darker colour, but use less of it. So maximum shading with minimum product. I'm going to go for a lighter contour here. And I'm just going to come in and give myself this shaping here. So when I contour a man, I actually want to make this part of the jaw the strongest. So it's more of a sharper contour that I'm going to do. And it's going to be so soft that you should actually not be able to even see with the naked eye that it's there. Come through here. And while I'm here, I'm going to shade right up into the hairline. Again, really softly. So when I'm doing this, I'll constantly be turning the face in and out of the light to make sure it's not obvious. But where you'll really see the difference is when I take the after photo. Remember, if you can't see it, sometimes that's a good thing because it's all about subtlety. You can always add more. I'm going to come to the hairline on this side. So if the hairline's receded a little bit, it's a really good, really important trick. It's just to darken that area. But I'm not going to round the forehead. I want to keep the squareness. So what I'm doing is I'm coming into the hairline and bringing it down to this shape here, not that shape. Keeping the squareness. I'm going to curl the lashes, not because you need longer lashes. Just look down for me. It's just to open the eyes up. So, are you okay? 20 seconds. Be very gentle. A lot of men have not experienced this before. It's just to get a little bit more of opening in the eyes. Okay, even if you curl them too much, don't worry, they won't stay up forever. And then also when it comes to brows, you can actually colour those little hairs. If you've got some grey hairs in the brow, you can cover them with brown mascara. But because he's got a little bit of grey through the hair, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it. But I'm going to give you a hint more brow on the outer end. I know I said I didn't need to cover the grey hair, the one grey hair that you have, but I thought I'll just show you anyway. So this is just some brown mascara. This is Benefit number 3. Again, I always go lighten the brow hairs. It's a really good trick. And you know what's really great with these mascaras? So if you've got like a bit of grey hair that you want to cover, you can just run it through the hair as well. I wouldn't use it to cover a big area. If you've got 1 or 2 grey hairs, they're a great trick. I'm not going to make these brows too perfect. I'm just going to give him a bit of brow, but I'm going to make it a bit rough. I'm not going to curve it too much. I'm going to make it a little bit more of a straighter angle and not too long, just so it looks like there's something there, but not obvious. I don't really want to touch where he already has hair, because if I do, it'll just go too dark. So shorten the brow, more straight, not too arched. If you get a stray eyebrow hair, look, I normally like to razor these hairs, but it's a little bit tricky if you haven't done it before. So look, I will trim it, but just a great tip, keep it longer than what you think. If you cut it too short, you can get like a hole in the brow area. Okay. Just going to give Christoph a hint more of a tan. So I'm actually taking the same palette I had before. I'm going to mix these 2 colours here. I really like cream bronzers. Most powdered bronzers tend to have a bit of a sheen in it. I find cream bronzers just look more like skin, and I'm going to bronze right up high and across the face here. I'm not making it round, I'm just making a shade straight across the face, a little bit on the nose and a bit above the eyebrow. Relax your brow. I put Christoph to sleep, but he's forgiven. He's a personal trainer. And what time do you get up in the morning, every morning?
4:30.
Oh, we used to live together. Oh my goodness. You're in bed by what time every night?
8.
8. Oh, 8's late.
I love it.
I know, right?
Nothing's happening after 8 in Sydney anyway. It's dark and cold. Every Sydney Saturday's in bed.
I have a child, so now going to bed at 8's heaven. Yeah, looking good. You can put a little bit of bronzer on the eyelids. Might just do a little bit there. Why not? I just want to bronze this area just here. Once everything's settled in, I'm just seeing there's still probably a little bit too much shine. So this is my Invisible Mattifier, and this is why I love this product so much. It just takes away all the shine. Really good to use up in this part of the hairline. If you have men who are bald, light can really reflect off the head, and the head got really shiny. So this is a great product to use here. Remember, if you've got great skin, you don't want to put foundation on, but you just a little bit shiny, you can use this product just on its own. And just a very last tip, if you've put a little bit too much lip balm on, which I think I have, it's still got a little bit too much shine, just take a blotting paper and take the excess. If they're really famous, keep these and sell them on eBay.